Mhm. Let's hope the mic is working okay. You guys can see me okay. Am I looking handsome, Channing? Beautiful. Look at this. Look at all of this. And he has revealed himself. Look at the ineffable one, my brother. What's up, man? Can you guys hear me okay? Is the sound coming in through okay? I have like this light over here, and I don't know if it's like too bright. Like, stop blinding me, this light. You gotta get the lighting right and all this crap, man. Stuff that I don't have to worry about when I'm out in the forest doing my streams, or my recordings. Started a little bit early. I wanted to give it like 5 minutes before I actually started, but you guys are already here. You guys are like the hardcore fans. Oh, this is so cool. Yo, Tradecraft, Peace Within. Mickey, what is up? Mickey, you have the same name as my uncle's dog. My uncle and my aunt, they stay upstairs, right? Like I'm in their basement right now. Like I was telling you guys, they're letting me stay with them for a little bit. And one of the dogs' name is Mickey. The other one's name is Claude. Hey, Mickey's so fucking cute. He's like this little terrier. He's my favorite. Do I have advice on the best meditation techniques? It's tough, guys, because like I myself, like I told you guys in a lot of my videos, I was obsessively searching for this stuff, and I was reading up on it for years, for like dozens of years, right? And trying all kinds of like different meditation techniques and different whatever, like because there's so much that you can. There's like I wouldn't call it a trap because it it takes you from one destination to another. You're like always kind of course correcting, on the path. But um, as far as like the actual meditation technique, my best advice is find one that works best for you, because all that matters is that you're getting in touch with your own stillness. You're getting in touch with your own divinity, and you're like saying, like I'm saying, you're unmasking the layers of yourself. Let me adjust this camera. Oh, that's better. So I had a hard time with meditation. It's not like, oh, it was like just super hard for me, but like I had a hard time discerning between which ones I was like most in the flow with, that would get me deepest into meditation, that would get me like deepest into like the depths of myself. And so when I used to meditate, like before I actually found the technique that works for me, when I used to meditate, I would sit there and I'm like, just being as still as possible and noticing my thoughts and just breathing, and like I was unintentionally kind of like focusing all of my attention into my mind. And what would happen is like I would almost kind of get sucked through this portal, like the third eye portal, and it would just like kind of take me, and I would expand into it without really realizing why or how or what was happening. And then I came across this guy on YouTube. His name is Forrest Knudsen, and he started out as like a Kriya Yoga monk at one of like the Yogananda kind of ashrams, and then he was like there for years, and like he learned all of this different stuff, and then he like went off and left, and then he found another guru who was also kind of from like the Kriya Yoga lineage, but he was a different kind of guru and had a different kind of separate lineage than Yogananda. And then he found his own like meditation techniques through stuff, and then on his channel he started going into like different meditation styles. And the one that worked for him, he basically distilled all of this information that he had come across through experience into like his own meditation technique. And he would use like the pranayama to get himself into the stillness, and through the breathing and through slowing yourself down internally and like going through these like little steps, you get more and more in touch with your stillness, and then you eventually merge. And it takes effort. You guys have to try. It's not just gonna like you try, like I say, until you no longer need to try. Namaskar, Darius, and other fellow beings here have an enjoyable one, Darius. Thank you, Dominic. I'm being called to leave my adult children and grandchildren and move thousands of miles away. They truly don't show up as love. Letting go is hard. Yeah. Yeah, that's tough, man. Family and friendship drama. That's what it is. It's like these attachments that we have to stuff, and then like when you get to this place, it's like those attachments, they're still kind of there, but they're not really tugging at you. They don't hold the same power, like they once did for you. It's not honestly, guys, you guys just stop giving a shit. You're like, how is that possible? I'm like, these are my family, I love them, how is that possible? And it's like, no, man. Like you realize that like wherever you are, it's just like perfect, and like wherever they are, it's perfect. And if they're meant to be a part of your like sphere of influence, like your immediate sphere of influence, they're meant to be here, then it's like, yeah. But the more attached you are, the more suffering comes out of that like detachment that like God is kind of forcing you into by them not being in your physical location, not being close to you. So yeah. Honestly, guys, like the advice is always going to be tap into yourself, get in touch with yourself, because and like people are like, well, how does this happen? When does this happen? How does this happen? It's like how am I going to know what this or that looks like? And it's like when you guys get to this place, those answers just become apparent to you. So it's like you stop trying to compartmentalize and like analyze each individual problem in your life, and you're just like, oh, I get all of it now, because all of these problems ultimately come out of the same root. So you pluck out that root, and now all of this shit's like, oh, well, here I am, I'm just living, and all of this stuff that I thought was like so important and so like attached to kind of falls away, and you're just left with yourself. Thank you, peace within. Bailey, I'm never gonna forgive you. You're not allowed here anymore. Whoever's like the mod, hey mods, like 86 Bailey because she's late or he's late. Get out of here, Bailey. You're not allowed. Sorry, I don't want to see you here ever again. Darius, I hate you. Stop talking to shit, bro. Meditation is not as easy as it sounds. I'm working on meditation for astral projection. Yeah, guys, like even astral projection can be a trap. You don't have to try to astrally project. Like that stuff is, in my opinion, part of like the whole new age woo-woo bullshit. Like it does exist. And it's the same idea with like, hey, I'm going to try to perform a miracle. It's like, no, dude, you don't need to try. It just happens as a byproduct of you. So, I mean, we all naturally astrally project when we're sleeping. Everything is meditation. That is true. That's what it is. That's like actually what my video tomorrow coming out about. So it's like this guy, the ineffable one, you're already like tapped into my subconscious, and you just like are already saying stuff that, what's up, Saki? How do you do stuff you hate? Yeah, I mean, like that's what one of my last videos is about, is like, don't do stuff that you hate, like Jesus was saying. He boiled it down to don't lie and don't do stuff that you hate. I'm hoping that each of you, one of you guys that came in here, Spiritual Mullah, hello, I didn't see you. James Phillips, what's up? I'm hoping that each one of you guys, like that are like the hardcore followers, I don't really consider you followers, but like those of you that pay attention, I hope that you guys are actually like watching my videos. You don't just watch one or two of them, and then you have like all these questions. And it's like, guys, if you guys were to sit down and go through each of like whatever 50 videos that I have, if you guys were to watch most of them, all of this stuff that you may or may not have questions about is pretty much in all of it. Like I could stop my channel right now, guys, never put up another video, never do anything else, and you could probably find your path to awakening and your full understanding of what spirituality is through whatever I've put up already. It's all in there. You don't need, you could just like watch it on repeat. You're like, what is it, 50 videos, maybe it's like 20 to 30 hours total of actual like stuff. Let's say you broke it down to like 2 hours a day, and like for 10 days you're just watching 20 hours of videos. You do that and like you keep doing it on repeat for like a couple months, it'll get you there. It just depends on how much you want it, how hard you're going to try in the beginning. Return to freedom, what's up? Hello, you always leave these amazing comments. Thank you. Thank you very much for congratulating me. Hey guys. Good job, Darius. Congratulations, man. You've made it. We're like in the big time. YouTube's allowing me to like live stream and collect money from my channel. When did I discover spirituality? I've always known about it, man. We always know about it. When did I discover it though? Well, you guys like I have a lot of videos up that aren't getting any views that are like all my videos are good. Like I have some stuff up that like no one's watched that's like just some really good shit in there that like would make you laugh and is like just part of my story. But I have an awakenings video where I talk about my first stuff, and like the first time I woke up or got a glimpse into it, I was like doing mushrooms, and then after that I had a manic episode from acid, and then I like was labeled bipolar and had a mental illness, and like the association with being bipolar and what that meant, and that never truly sitting well with me, that was what caused me to search. I'm like, fuck you, psychiatrist, fuck you, doctors. I don't agree. What I glimpsed is truth. You're not going to tell me what I personally experienced isn't truth. And yeah, I was imbalanced. Yeah, I would fly off the handle, all of that stuff. I was mentally ill, but there were seeds of truth in all of it. And that was meant to get me to a place where it's like, no, dude, don't settle for this bullshit. Don't believe in this lie. They don't know. Yeah, bipolar. It's like we're all bipolar, man. When I was gonna write a book when I was like in my teens and 20s, I'm like, I'm gonna write a book. It's gonna be called "Jesus Was Bipolar and So Are You," because I understood duality at that point. It's like everyone's bipolar. It's just that bipolar is like the extremes of the duality of your mind. You right? You go manic and then you go depressed, right? And it's like the super extreme, mood of each side. So anyway. Thank you, Bailey, for super. Yeah, Bailey's agreeing so hardcore, guys. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the rest of you guys. Like they're telling me what's up. Okay, Bailey, chill. So yeah. So then so like, well, this is what happens with spiritual awakening for a lot of people. It happened with my ex-girlfriend. She had no frame of reference for the stuff that she was going through when she had her first spiritual experience. So she had to like read books on this stuff to put words and ideas and knowledge to the actual experience that you had just gone through, which is the unminding of yourself. And then you're like, whoa, like, you know how I say like, whoa, trippy shit, like, oh my God, I'm here, like there's no more mind. And I'm just like, whoa, I like step into like through this portal into like, oh my God, I'm like here now, you know? And so I'm like, I went through the same thing like she did. I sat and I read. Guys, I've read so much stuff. You couldn't know. If you guys went through my life, I guarantee you there's no one you've ever met that has the kind of spiritual library that I have and has read through the amount of stuff that I have read. The level of spiritual zealotry the obsession that I went through. Now, I'm not saying like I'm greater or less than whatever. I'm just telling you guys, I had to pluck and look at every single slice of the pie as much as is out there. Eastern, Western, Hindu, like anything you can think of, I've probably come across some like obscure shit that you guys think I'd probably come across it at some point. And it was like putting everything in its right place. And then you're like, oh my God, all this shit's the same. Fuck chasing all of, like you can just go dive balls deep into like the one religion and find it through that. But I liked the comparing and the contrasting. because then I realized the true nonsense of it all. Ultimately, that one thinks it's better than the other, one thinks it's my God versus your God, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, um, okay. I think you guys will find this interesting, and it's probably happened to a bunch of you too, right? So, so when I was having these awakenings, and they were like they would spiral into like manias and then eventually psychoses, and some of them I ended up in the hospital, right? While I'm going through all of that stuff, this is happening in my late teens and early 20s. I came across a book before it became super well known and mainstream. Before it was like on TV and everyone was talking about it, and this person blew up. Do you guys know which book I'm talking about? If the first person that can guess the book that I'm talking about, you get a cookie when I see you, if I ever see you in real life. Guess the book. Chat. Come on, interact with me, please. Hey, stop being so fucking quiet, chat. I don't like what the fuck. Yes. See, the first guess, The Power of Now. So like this was like when it first came out. It came out like in 97, 98, whenever it came out, right? And then I discovered it maybe 3 or 4 years later, like in early 2000s, maybe even 2000. And I sat and I read it the whole fucking night, guys. Before he blew up on Oprah, before Eckhart became super mainstream, I'm like, yo, Eckhart, this is good shit, bro. Thanks, man. He's like, you know who he is for us, all of us? He's like our John the Baptist, guys. He's the one crying out in the wilderness, guys. That's who he is to us, to all of us that has read his shit and has like found truth through him. The fucking spiritual badass, man. I owe my life to that motherfucker. He is the truth. So I read, if you read the book, if you reread it, whatever. In the beginning, I'm like in my early 20s, guys. I'm young still, okay? I'm like when you're still in your late teens and early 20s, guys, you don't know shit. You're still an idiot. And I thought I knew so. It's just like so worldly. Like, hey, Darius, you're just so wise beyond. You know stuff. People know these things. Look at all these sheep. They don't know, Darius, but and like so. I kept telling you guys, humility needed to come in later. I thought I was so the knower. I just know. And I did, but I also didn't understand the humility of it, right? So I'm reading the introduction, and he talks about how he was like going through oscillating, in anxiety and depression, and how he like was searching and looking for the truth and stuff, and he's going through all this like stuff, and then all of a sudden he wakes up out of it. And from the first words, from the first hymn going, it captivated me, and I sat and I read it all in one night. I'm like, dude, give me some more. And then after that, I go, because at this time he had started doing like recordings too. Like the first one I ever heard was "Even the Sun Will Die." I don't know if you guys have gotten into his talks too. And he sits down, and this had just happened just after 9/11, and they were talking about the insanity of 9/11 and the insanity of all the collective being so detached and doing all of this crazy shit. And I would go to my local library, guys, and I would like rent out and check out all of his audio talks. I would go home and make like CD rips of them, and then I would listen to them on repeat, like in my car when I'm driving, or like at my place, and just like how he's speaking and the voice and the stillness and the message is all just like getting me closer and closer and closer to truth, and like unraveling layers of the mind. So yeah. Let's look at some comments here. Going to go straight in. Could my mother be a demon? No person is a demon. A person can get like kind of possessed and get caught up in the darkness. And I've come across plenty of people. I've spoken to demons, guys. I've spoken to the devil. I've had conversations with it through other people. It's like, it's real. It's just the extreme of the darkness that is in our consciousness. That's all it is. It's not like the devil's real and all different kind of stuff. But yeah, can it be a demon? Yeah, if they're like super negative and like twisted and like all kinds of stuff, and like the bad shit happens and like it's creepy, yeah, they could be possessed, if that's what you're asking. I studied everything but love Jojin the most. Yeah, good stuff. How close is solipsism to the truth? Guys, everything is a slice of the truth, man. There's truth in everything. You know, there's not one more that's more truth than the other. When you realize that, you don't even need to ask those questions anymore. Hi, Darius, veteran here with the desert flew from Iraq, and you've helped me more in the couple weeks of watching your videos and the years of. Thank you, man. Yamaha. I appreciate that. Thank you. Can you awaken and decide how to for service to self, not positive ways? I think I encountered a few seeking here in the New Age retreat Mecca in Hawaii. What you're going to see is like your service to others is service to yourself. And literally anything that you do is prayer and meditation. You step into like this portal of you just are it. I am that. And even the most mundane thing that you're doing is service and perfection. And it becomes this beautiful dance of just life. It can be found in anything that you're doing. And you're not caught chasing anymore, guys. It's liberating, it's freeing. It's the final freedom that they talk about. That's the way I was with Alan Watts. Yeah, man. Dude. Alan Watts. I like Alan Watts because he's like very philosophical about it. You know, he's kind of like the white Krishnamurti. He's not like he's like, hey guys, there's a commonality in all these religions. He's like, don't get too caught up on this Christianity bullshit. There's truth in the Eastern traditions as well. They'll get you to the same place. Kyle, what's up? Jacob, what's up? This guy named himself I Am That, and I just so happened to notice that I Am That is in the chat as I just said I am that. Go fuck yourself, I am that. Fuck you for fucking with me naming yourself I Am That, okay? Like, for real. Is The Art of War by Sun Tzu an Enlightenment text? Of course it is. Yeah, because guys, there is, like I said just now, in the mundane, but in any aspect of life, any aspect of the physical, even war, even killing each other, even there's holiness and sanctity in all of these things that we do. As absurd as it sounds, it is all absurd. And so, yes, there is the art of war, there is the art of combat, there is the art of, but we're trying to go to the next stage of our evolution where we don't even need to have the war anymore. And that's why all of these modern movements are largely based in the non-violent aspects. Yeah, like I get some kind of, you know, it's hard to know, guys. It's hard to know someone's heart, like with Sadhguru. It's hard to know. Most of the stuff I've seen of his is like legit, it seems like, but there are some moments where I'm watching him and it does give off some kind of charlatan vibes. So like it's just it's your own discernment, guys. I'm not he could very well be there and he might have his own stuff he's still working through. He might not be fully enlightened, whatever the fuck that means. Doesn't mean anything. Jack, what's up, brother? Jack just did a casual shout out to my videos in his channel. I appreciate that, Jack. I mentioned that in your video. I left a comment. Thank you, brother, man. I appreciate you showing up and saying hi. All that is. Peace within you. Stop dropping truth bombs in here. I don't like it. You're making me look bad. Fuck off. Hey, who's gonna 86 peace within? I'm over it. All right. Thoughts on the notion in religion of us being born sinners, having to repent? Yeah, guys, it's all bullshit. We're not born sinners. In some sense, we are. In some sense, we're not born sinners, but we come into sin through our own conditioning as we grow up and build up the mind. Right? I keep going back to the Garden of Eden. The knowledge, the tree of knowledge, the fruit that you eat, like you're taking on your conditioning, and then you're further separating yourself through your mind. You split yourself into two. What we're trying to do is just bring ourselves back into wholeness. You still have the mind, then. That's the beauty, guys. You still have your mind, and now it becomes that powerful tool that you're just like, whoa, I'm like a super fucking powerful being here that can co-create with everyone else. You know, you wake up to your power. You're like, holy shit, like I have this mind. Before, the mind was like it for me. I thought I was my mind, just like this tiny little sliver of my consciousness. And then you're like, whoa, this mind is like the portal that I can actually create stuff through. And it's readily available whenever. You're not lost in it. It doesn't have like this hold on you anymore. And yeah. So we're not sinners, guys, but we also are. You're a sinner as long as you're not aligned. You're not in union. but it's not even a sinner, because the whole sinner idea, the ideology, the mythology, whatever you want to call it, the dogma it's been turned into by especially the Christian community and the Christian religion, it's too much like you're in for all eternity damned, and like you're just imperfect all the time, and fuck all that shit, man. I'm perfect. Fuck off, you pope or cardinal or archbishop or whoever the fuck, and Jesus is the only truth, and fuck off, man. I'm the truth. Go fuck yourself. I get very angry about this shit, guys. It comes up like raw, because you speak lie, I'm gonna come at you with the truth, and I don't give a fuck. And that's because I'm correcting you in an aggressive way. Yeah. All right. Thoughts on the notion and religion of us being born sinner? Are we rather pure and holy or become corrupted? Yeah, man, we do become corrupted over time. Like I said, it's the mind that corrupts us. It's the negative aspect of the duality. But even the positive holds corruption, because then it's like you're trying too hard to purify yourself. You're trying too hard to be good, and there's too much effort there. The goodness comes up naturally as a byproduct of your beingness. Thanks, Jack. What's up, Donnie from the net? Bro, like, come on, man. It's bedtime, Donnie. Donnie, what the fuck, bro? Time to go to bed, unless you're like a night owl like I used to be. Oh my god, guys, when I was going through my shit, when I was going through like this like eternal suffering of the damnation of hell from like the decades purge of like nothingness that I descended into, I was such a night owl, and like my sleep schedule would like progressively keep getting worse and worse, and it's like I'd wake up half an hour later every day, and then like it kept shifting, and I'm staying up until 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, and then I'm like, oh, gotta do the like the like reset, and then I try and stay up as long as possible to like reset the sleep schedule. Very familiar with all that shit. Oh man. Much love. I saw a comment. Yeah, Jack. Mind alone line is dope. Yes. All sin is through conditioning. Yes. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. Yep. Yeah. Guys, when I first stepped into like the final portion of this awakening, the final steps, it was fucking with me, man. It was the Jesus in the wilderness with the devil shit for weeks. It was fucking with me, and I had to purge the same shit. And you guys will have to do the same thing. You have to see it, and it comes differently for everybody too, like how it appears, the devil, the illusion, the Maya. It's gonna fuck with you in different ways that is like your own personal shit. And it's gonna look also very similar for a lot of different people because it can only look a certain way. But I'm like the question like in the Matrix, I can't go back to the Matrix. And he's like, well, would you really want to go back now that you've woke up? Now that you're here in the Matrix? And like Neo's like probably sitting up all night. He's like, holy shit, I see the reality of everything, but I don't like what I'm seeing. He hadn't realized the true liberation yet. He hadn't stepped into his Neo-ness yet, because there was still some fear there. Would you want to go back? Would I want to go back? No, I don't want to go back, dude. No. I never got super. So this is part of my own like I am that. When you talk about Muhammad, I had my own block with Muhammad because that's part of my own conditioning. So I grew up. I'm half Greek and I'm half Persian, guys. Okay, so I was raised Greek Orthodox Christian. I never really grew up on the Persian side of my family, but there was like this whole Islamic thing on that side, right? But oddly enough, I'm very, very drawn to Zoroastrianism, which was the religion before Islam took over in that whole little area in Iran and Persia, right? But I never really got into the Quran and stuff like hardcore. I know about it. I've read a lot about it, but I never like gave really a fuck about Muhammad and all of the different shit in Islam, honestly, guys. And because like it's ultimately, and I know this might sound bastardized to like Islam, it's ultimately a continuation of Christianity and Judaism. It's from the same tree, from that Abrahamic shit. It's the same energy. And so when you see that, you don't need to like dive too deep. You can, Like there, but me personally, no. Like whatever stuff you find on Muhammad, whatever books you find on like what I used to do, guys, is like I was obsessed with Jesus. I don't know why. It's just like I see my life through the lens of Jesus a lot, and it fucks with me, and it's probably fucked with a lot of you guys. And that's why I was talking. That's why I did the whole video on the Jesus timeline that doesn't have enough views. You guys need to watch that if you haven't, man, to understand what I mean by this Jesus timeline shit. It's very real, and we can't escape it, and it will fuck with you on the level of your mind. But anyway, so I'm sitting there like looking at stuff through the lens of Jesus sometimes, and I wasn't given the conditioning. I wasn't born into Islam the same way, and I wasn't like to look at my life through the lens of Muhammad as an example, or through Buddha. I had to do that kind of like I had to bring that in externally and study that shit. But I was never like fully identifying it like I'm literally Jesus, like I do with Jesus. Like at some points, guys, when I was like manic and insane, I thought I was Jesus, and in a way I am, and so are you. His consciousness is in us, guys. We are the continuation of him. If Jesus didn't happen the way he happened, we wouldn't even be here. Do you guys realize that? We wouldn't be born the same way. We wouldn't have the exact same lives. It's like it's so fucking embedded in the nature of reality. Nobody fully understands how, and it's not just Jesus, literally anyone, but Jesus has the gravity, like I say, more gravity than anyone else that has come before or after since. Anyway, sorry about going on a tangent. Hey guys, I'm gonna be going on a bunch of tangents here, and then I'll get back to your. All that expands awareness could be considered a path. Yes, very true. The good news is that you can recognize that sin is a lie and wake up to the truth. Yes, of course. Well said. Katerina, hello. I shift over the last 6 years in my sleeping pattern, always looking for answers here. Dark time. Dude, Donnie, if you're in the darkness, man, keep searching. And if you need to come and hang out and watch some of my videos and like it keeps you going, then do that, man. And if you need to fucking talk to me, you guys can email me and I can set up a time with you. You're gonna pay. Motherfucker, a girl gotta eat. Yo, you guys, it's worth it though, because I'm gonna accelerate your shit if you guys want to talk one-on-one. Chris Lockhart, hello. What's up, brother? Got sleeping problems as well. Mine's still trying to keep me safe. Sufism, it's kind of like the mystical side of Islam. It's the beauty of it, you know, with Rumi and all the different like Sufis. I don't even know if that's the word, but I'm gonna make it up. Let's coin it. Solipsism, brief. I don't have any thoughts on solipsism. I've seen your question like 4 times. Sorry, man. Vladimir, what's up? Alex, what's up? Let's go. Yo, you're way more excited than I am, man. Chill out. Why are you coming in here with all this positive energy, bro? You're making me look bad. Chill out, dude. You guys. So, you know, it's funny because like we all have such a little bit of conditioning in ourselves, and we get triggered and we get stuck on like certain wordings and certain ideas about how something is, and people come in and they leave comments on my videos because they're just so attached. They're like, no, it's not like this, and it's just like little and so like based on the comment that you leave, I can see exactly where you guys are at. The little shit that you get stuck on, I used to get stuck on the same things, and that's how I know that you're still not fully there, is because you're not. If you were there, you wouldn't even bring up the question to begin with, this thing that you're stuck on. That's how you know. There's no resistance. I'm not trying to push an agenda. I'm not trying to push like my way is the only way. I don't give a fuck. I don't. So you guys will get to that place, and then this Darius guy doesn't really even matter anymore, because you are your own Darius. You are your own Jesus and whatever. You don't even need to like, you're not, it doesn't matter, man. It's all a joke. Oh God, I wish I could talk. You know who I wish? There's 2 people that I wish I could talk to from the past. The dude that wrote Ecclesiastes. Some people think it might have been Solomon or David even, or whatever. And then Jesus, obviously. And then it's not even like wanting to talk to Jesus. What I want is, I just want to like, if when I pass, and I might already know all of this stuff. I probably do, because I resonate very closely to it. But when I die, all I want to go back and do a life review. And when you die, you're probably gonna let go of even this want that I have right now. I probably will. I want to get like I want to see the movie of Jesus. I want to see how accurate the Bible is. I want to see all these things that everyone's made up and like some yes or no and yes or no, this happened this way, this happened that way. Because I have a feeling that the stuff that I'm talking about, it's way closer to obviously, it's way closer to how I think it played out compared to all of this extra illusory baggage they added on to the message. And Paul was just like so delusional in some of the stuff he's saying, guys. And like Paul's version of Christianity that we all carry now and we don't even realize it. It's just this whole bizarre thing. And that like the variety of branches that came after of the early Christian church, that all of those branches, the early ones that kind of got weeded out, a lot of those are way more true and closer to the truth about what Jesus's life was and what his message was than what the Christianity actually turned into and morphed into like this monstrosity that just like was out of control with this insane message of like salvation and the resurrection and like the virgin birth and like so much nonsense. And people don't have the frame of reference and haven't read enough different religions to see the different spiritual tropes that have been used ad nauseum. You know, it's like, no, like we need to prop up Jesus. Like Jesus don't need your help, brother. Jesus is good. He doesn't need you to make him the holy one. He doesn't give a fuck where he's at right now, man. He's graduated to the next fucking dimension, so it doesn't matter. Darius equals when Silent Bob speaks. Yes, pretty much. And I'm just as fat as Silent Bob was. Yes, I love it. Guys, I love my fatness. Does the Mandela effect prove we're living in a fluid reality, like a simulation? I don't think it proves anything. I don't think that you can prove that the Mandela effect is actually real. So I don't know. How can you prove something that you don't know? It's like, I'm going to come with my version of what I saw, and you're going to come with your version, and we're never going to come to a final agreement on it, are we? So, like, how can you prove anything? I don't know. How do you describe color to somebody that's blind? Or sound to someone that's deaf? What area does Darius live in America? What state? Michigan? No, not Michigan. I'm in the West, bro. I'm in the West, brother. The Western United States. Bye, Dominic. Thanks for stopping in. What are your thoughts on the reincarnation soul trap? I mean, like, soul trap is just a description of like the process of reincarnation. It's like when you put the word trap on it, it automatically makes you think it's a negative thing. So you're going to attach a negative association to it, right? I'm trapped and I can't escape. It's like a prison. Whatever. You can look at it that way if you want to have a negative lens on it, or you can make it be like a fun game. And it's not soul trap, it's soul game theory. Whatever, man. Doesn't matter. Yes, reincarnation is real. And that's part of the issue with like Christianity, guys, is that like and a lot of these Abrahamic religions that don't understand what reincarnation is. It's real, it's true. And as like I said in one of my videos, there's a reason that all of these NDEs are coming out now, and there's thousands and millions of people sharing these stories. There's a reason that we're waking up to this now, the realization. And the chosen ones before us, they probably didn't have access to all of these varieties of stories to understand as kind of proof that reincarnation is real. I mean, the Hindus and like the Indian yogis and like all that whole branch, they already knew, and like and into Buddhism and stuff, they all already reached the conclusion, the understanding of what reincarnation was. And there's points to it, reincarnation, in Christianity too. Because when Jesus is talking to the disciples and he's like, who are they saying that I am? They're like, oh, you're Elijah, you're John the Baptist. Well, it's like, how can he be anybody other than who he is? Like, so they're thinking like somebody has come and returned now, a soul that was Elijah has come now and become Jesus. So isn't that resurrection? I mean, not resurrection, reincarnation? Right? So it's like in a weird way, it was, they did believe in reincarnation, whether they labeled it as that or not. They did kind of, because you can't possibly believe Jesus is Elijah unless it was Elijah and now is Jesus. It's all the same thing. Yes, man. And that's part of like our authenticity, Jack, is like, what's the point of um lying to ourselves and others? It's like one of my latest videos about is do not lie. You lie to yourself after a while. You're ashamed of the stuff that you've done. You're ashamed of what you've become. You're ashamed of this whole mental prison that you've been entrapped by. And then you're like, I can't possibly show myself to the world because I'm imperfect. And you're not imperfect, you're perfect. Even in your imperfection, you're perfect. And when you get to that place, it's like you stop feeling cringe. You stop feeling insecure. And that's why one of my videos is like your insecurity is like trapping you or whatever it's called. Your desire traps you, exactly. But even like that's part of that's kind of the paradox too, guys, is like the desire isn't bad. It's you losing yourself in the desire, you losing yourself in the chasing after the stuff. So like when you reach where I'm at and where Jack's at and where anyone else is at, the ineffable one, right? Like you guys, there's a bunch of awakened ones in here, right? Like I know you guys, I can tell, right? When you get to the place where we're at, you can come back to desire because you're not losing yourself in the desire. You're like, hey, I can participate, I can take a little, I can give a little, I can try this, I can try that, but I'm not trying to seek myself, because then it becomes a habit and then it becomes an addiction. That's why the desire is a slippery slope, and they're saying get rid of it altogether. It's like you don't need to get rid of it altogether. What you need to do is realize the true nature of what's going on, and then you can actually participate. And that's why I don't really like where the whole non-duality spirituality stuff is going now, because they're just too far outside of the physicality of life. It's like, who is doing the doing? It's like, motherfucker, you're way too like, I'm doing the doing. Go fuck yourself. You know, like who is God's doing the doing, you know? And it's like, okay, whatever, bro. You know? But like like the non-duality, it's good to get you to see to the zoomed out. I keep saying zoom out, right? It's good to get you there, but once you zoom out, come and zoom back in and participate. Come and do the deeds. Come and do the good deeds. Do I speak Spanish? I speak some. I took like some years of Spanish, but I'm not fluent or anything in it. The institution won't teach it because it ruins their purpose. Yeah, well, yeah, that's part of it too, right? There is a bit of corruption there. There is a bit of nonsense. Yeah, and that's kind of why I did the Katarina. That's kind of why I did the video on like it is a lonely path, because after a while it's like what are you going to talk about with these people that aren't fully there? Like are you going to lie? Because you're kind of lying to yourself, right? You're like, well, if I don't really want to talk about the mundane bullshit like People Magazine, like, oh my God, what did like freaking Kim Kardashian wear? Like all of the drama and all that bullshit. Like so if I'm not going to talk about that stuff because I'm not really feeling it, I'm not going to lie to myself and like say, hey, let's go. Oh my God, Kim Kardashian, what a booty. Like I'm not going to like just bullshit, right? Because that's just the antithesis of how I'm feeling. I'm not going to lie. So that's part of your authenticity, is like recognizing it, and you just don't engage anymore, man. It just falls away. And then the people that like are like, you guys are my community now, right? Like we're small still, right? But as it grows, the people that show up here, we talk about this stuff, we keep raising the vibration collectively. That's all we're trying to do here. Everyone keeps at least one guru for themselves and hidden. Yeah, it's kind of how it is, right? We build like but what's funny is like I have attachments and appreciations to different gurus for showing me different stuff. Like if it wasn't for Yogananda, I would never have gotten it through my thick skull to sit and meditate. That's why I'm taught on all my videos, I'm telling you guys, meditate, be still. He got that through me, because I thought I could skip that whole route. I don't have to meditate. I don't have to pray. I don't have to whatever. It's woo woo. It's too boring. I can't know. And I get the whole inertia there. I get the whole resistance there, guys. It's tough. I get it. But once you get into it, then you start burning through your shit. And now you're like, whoa, I get it. What Yogananda was pointing to, why it is so powerful. There's nothing that accelerates your growth like meditation and prayer, guys. Nothing. And that's why ultimately I'm saying all of this extra shit that the spiritual community is labeling as like needing to do, whatever. That's no, man. Grounding and earthing and like semen retention and like anything you can think of that they're like, no, you have to do this to read. No, you don't. Because I don't earth and I don't semen retention. So if I'm not doing that and I'm still awakened, then what the fuck, right? Isn't that a contradiction? The only way is through this? No, go fuck yourself. The only way. No, man. There's many paths. There's many paths. It doesn't matter. What is quality of life, man? You see what I mean? We're gonna have the same debate that the sophists and Socrates had. They're all that's all philosophy was in the ancient times, guys. What is quality of life? A life well lived. And they're just going back and forth. What is virtue? What is truth? What is love? What is this? What is that? Who gives a fuck? Honestly, it's all mental masturbation. You guys will see that after a while. It's all like, well, what am I even talking about anymore? I might as well just sit here for like the next fucking half an hour that I'm going to be on, hour or whatever, and just be still. Darius, you're not talking. You're creeping me out, bro. Like, what the fuck, man? Say something, please. Why are you looking at the camera and you're just still? You know? Because after a while, it's like, what more is there to say? And that's why the guy in Ecclesiastes is just like, what the fuck is the point anymore? What am I even trying to do here? Yeah, okay, you try to improve, but but then you're getting into a trap. It's like, what is improvement at that point? And it's very philosophical. It's like, what is this? What is that? Like, you can go down a rabbit hole with this stuff, and it's not where it's at, guys. Just be. You just are. And whatever you happen to do, whatever you're inspired to do, it's like God's dropping in this inspiration for you, and you're going and following that. He's like, hey, go this way. You're like, okay, cool. I believe you. Gotta have faith. I'll go that way. What's it gonna take me, God? I need to know. He's like, no, you're gonna find out when you get there, man. Stop asking questions. Yeah, no, I'm not attacking you, Alex. I was just like, don't ever feel like anything that I'm pointing out is attacking you. It's not meant to be that way. What do you think about it? Hypnosis is interesting shit. I've hypnotized people without even realizing I've hypnotized them, guys. Women, right? Like, you can do it sexually. You can do it like when you're intimate with somebody and they're like, you got them on the hook, the words, they're flowing. You can do it like I've done it with people too, just in general. Your attention, if you play like if I, let's say I show up, right? You're talking to your friends in a group of your friends, right? There's 5 or 6 of you, and I show up and I butt myself into your conversation, and now I have grabbed your attention and you're focused on me. I'm hypnotizing you in that moment. I'm basically forcing you to keep an attention, and as long as I'm charismatic and magnetic in my message, you are hypnotized by my message. That's why Jesus would go out and speak, and all these thousands of people are like looking at him and they're like, oh, keep talking, Savior. I like what's coming out of your mouth. You're so fascinating. And then as soon as he would leave, they're like all like they break out of like the spell that they're under, and they're like they go back to like living their mundane, like like foaming at the mouth and shit. So that's what it is. So as long as you guys watch my videos, and as long as you're like hooked, I got the hook in, like YouTube, and you watch the whole video, you're like, wow, Darius, all of this stuff's really good. It's flowing real nice, man. Thanks for the words. You're basically temporarily hypnotized by the spell I've put you under. It sounds nice. It's comforting. It feels good. Oh, I like it. I'll stay here. That's all it is. And that's why, like, in sex and like the dynamic of the man and woman, people don't really fully understand that. They have these ideas of what divine feminine, divine masculine is and stuff. And all you're doing is manipulating the polarities when you're in this place. So it's like if I have a woman and I make her feel comfortable and loved and I make her feel seen, then she naturally falls into herself, which is the receding, the receiving, the submissive feminine. And then the man takes the lead. That's all it is. It's just a play of that. It's just a dance of that back and forth. And as long as you feel you comfort each other, then the longer you stay in this loving grace that you coexist through in your relationship. That's all we want, man. We're all in our relationships, we're all craving that. We're basically craving our own comfort. Peace, love, and chill. I'm sorry I offended you. Hi, Darius. Nice to see you. Solar Flow, what's up? It would be lovely to hear you talk about setting boundaries with other people. Wait, let's go to Vladimir first. What do you think about the end times, like stated in the Vladimir? If you haven't seen my Jesus timeline video, go watch that, because I talk about that. That's what that video is about, and it's inescapable. The Kali Yuga is merged with prophecy and the revelation and the apocalypse. They're the same energy, but they're just coming from a different mental construct. Setting boundaries with other people, guys. After a while, When you get to this place, you don't even need to like actively set boundaries, because you just stand up for yourself in whatever you feel in the moment. And it's basically your authenticity is your boundary. That's why I made the video. Your authenticity is all that matters. And I go off. You're not going to fucking tell me how to live my life, man. You're not going to tell me I can't swear. You're not going to tell me I can't be a certain way. If you don't like it, then go fuck off. Peace out, bro. You know? And then you kind of have to adopt that attitude even with your family and your friends. Not obviously, guys, I'm not like this with like my family. I'm not like my aunt and my uncle. They're gonna tell you I'm very cool to be around. I'm not like I'm not in their faces about, I'm not aggressive about this shit. It's only through the spiritual message that I channel that I become this way. Okay? I'm very serene and just fun and affable, and like I laugh a lot. I laugh a lot. I'm funny. I make people laugh. They like being around me. Don't you like being around people that make you feel good? That's why I'm like, hey man, let's just have a good time. That's all we can do. Let's laugh at life. It's a joke. Haha, funny. Um, and like when you tap into the absurdity of everything, it's like, why do I even need to put boundaries on anything? It's all so ridiculous. Like I'm putting so much effort in setting boundaries, and it's like the more I put boundaries on stuff, the more I'm putting myself and others in a box. Like the boundaries will naturally form where they need to based on where your energy is like stopping and starting and projecting itself. And a boundary naturally occurs when your energy is butting up with someone else's energy, and it often takes shape as like mental constructs and ideas that you're butting heads with people, you know. And the more you feed energy into it, the firmer your boundary becomes, and the more they feed energy into it, the firmer their boundary becomes. And now it's like a clash of wills. It's like, fuck that shit, man. We just let go, just recede. And then now that you're still flowing, you're like Bruce Lee, I am water, be the water. Be the water, man. That's all. Dealt with suicidal thoughts since '09, have come close a lot, but something deep down has always kept me from it. Therapists always said hope or purpose. Listen, Yamaha, man, I was there. And if you haven't watched my videos, watch them all, because I talk about my own shit in it. And it's going to give you comfort, and it's going to give you a place of understanding. I've been in that hell, guys. I'm very familiar with it. It's no way to live. Okay? So like basically what happens with suicidal thoughts and your own thoughts, they're all lies, man. It's basically like your mind, your mind's so out of control, and you're believing all these individual thoughts that are coming up. You're deriving your sense of self from each of these individual thoughts. You think these thoughts are you, and they're not you. It's just this unhinged delusional mind construct that's flowing constantly, that you're feeding energy into. And when you detach from it and it loses its steam, you're left with yourself, and you can see your thoughts, and you're like, I don't agree with you, thought. So let's say in this case, Yamaha, you're like, you know what, I'm gonna kill myself today. Sounds really good, man. The me now, Darius now would say, hey man, that thought, fuck you. That's the devil. That's a lie. It's the demon. It's a negative. It's an illusion. It's whatever lie you want to call it. Okay. You look at it, you see it very clearly, and you're like, get out, get back from me, devil, like that kind of shit. So don't anything. God doesn't want you to kill yourself. Okay. He doesn't. He's giving you the choice. God wants you to keep living your life. You're here. You were born to live, were you not? You think you were born to kill yourself? Think about it, guys. It's just basic common sense at some point, right? It's like, was I born? I was born, and then I'm gonna choose to, like, how does that even vibe with like the idea of you being created and born? Like, you asked to come in here, guys. I don't know. You watch enough NDEs, you're gonna realize we were all asking to be born. We're all asking to come here, and then we get here and we're like, oh man, who lied? God lied about this. No, fuck this. I've been trapped. I've been bamboozled. I don't. No. What is this bullshit? What is this reality? No, I gotta go back. Like, send me home. And you're craving the release instead of just like being at peace with the reality that you're in, and then your death will come naturally for you when it's time, and there's no forcing it. I feel you, bro. Blessings. Thank you, Donnie. The more high vibe you are, the more low vibe. Exactly. That's so true. Like, and you know what? And it's not even that they fall away. Like, they're still there. But they don't have a hold of you. They don't got you by the balls, man, like they used to. You see what I mean? They have no power over you. No one has a power over me. I am my own individual autonomous person, and each of you are the same thing. I don't have power over you. You don't have power over me, but we consciously choose to come together and create a blissful reality. That's all it is. I'd love to hear Darius's thought with this, Yamaha, but I'd remind you that your struggle has less importance or value over your exactly. And so like what happens is that we don't prioritize our own bliss and our own happiness because we can't stop being focused on the negative aspect of our lives, how much of a fuck up we are. We've created these own internal lies that we've identified with. You're not a fuck up. You're not nothing. You're not a loser. You're not any of these things. And actually for me, like I say, I embrace my loserness. I embrace it. You want to call me a loser? Cool. You want to call me fat, ugly, whatever? Cool, man. Thanks. I feel good now. I take it and I redirect it. You have no control or power over me with your words. You don't. And how liberating is that feeling? How inspiring is that? Can you guys get to that place with me? Can we stop with this, with the fucks given? I don't give a fuck. I really don't. And in that, you're like, whoa, man, he doesn't give a fuck. I like that. How refreshing. He doesn't care. It's amazing. He cares, but he doesn't care. It's the paradox, right? It's like the irony. It's like you do care. I like 100% really give a fuck, but at the same time, I don't. How is that possible? I don't know. It's like, how is anything that we describe on the level of our minds and duality possible? It's like there's a paradox built into everything, and we don't even realize it. Everything in the world is vibrations. Yeah, man. It's just light slowed down. That's all it is. You are that light, man. You are the light of the world. It's like we have different words and labels for stuff today, guys. You know, but like the religions in the scriptures, they're all pointing to the same thing using different words, and then people get stuck on these different messages and how they're constructed and what they mean and all this different stuff. And then it's like in the end you'll realize that there's all just words describing the same thing, and there's no attachment to how a word is a certain sentence or a certain belief or a certain thing is structured. You don't give a fuck anymore. You're like, wow, it's like you come in, you're like, Darius, religion is like this, spirituality is like this, and I will say yes. Another person comes in, they're like, Darius, no, it's like this. And I will say, yes. And they're both true while also both not being true. Well, how is that possible? Well, it's possible because that's the paradox of the duality, the mental construct. So it can both be true and it can both not be true. It can be, it's just slices of the pie, like I keep saying, guys. It's just one little tiny fragment. That's all your mind can be, one tiny fragment of the whole. And that's all we're trying to describe at any given moment. Face the inner lies. Exactly. Believe I'm here to make my family think about things and realize certain ideas. You're not meant to do shit, Donnie. I got into that trap too. You think that you're here to wake everybody up. You're like, hey man, I've realized this truth. Do you want to know? And they're like, no, I really don't give a fuck. Okay, well, cool. But I would keep forcing the issue, and that's where I would get in trouble. So don't go down that route. Donnie, take my word for it. No. You get in trouble that way. And maybe you need to realize that maybe that's part of your path. You hear what I'm saying, but it doesn't really resonate with you, Donnie. And now you're going to keep going and thinking that you need to make your family think certain things, and you don't have to make them think anything. They come to their own realization. If you happen in natural conversation to bring something up, and they're like, yeah, I really vibe with that. Tell me some more. Where did you hear that? Or can you recommend a book? Then you naturally bring it up. But you're not cramming it down their fucking throats. You're not like spreading the gospel like we did. I just have this overwhelming need to share that Jesus is the only way. And if you don't go that way, then you're going to go to hell for all eternity. Well, like when faced with that alternative, yeah, you better fucking believe I'm going to believe in Jesus. I'm going to give up my own soul, my own choice, and say, I believe in Jesus or else I'm going to go to hell. Oh no, who wants to go to hell, man? I got to believe in Jesus. Jesus, save me. I was watching these YouTube videos one time, and this like girl, she was so distraught, guys. She was so distraught, and she's crying on the video. Oh my god, all these people, They don't realize that Jesus is the only way and the only truth and their only salvation. And all these kids are going to burn for all eternity in hell when they die. And all these dogs and all these people. And she's bawling on the fucking camera because she's bought into the delusion that all of Christianity mostly has bought into. Do you see how fucked up it is? It's like you're the only sane one, and you're watching all these insane other people, and it's like, and all it takes is one little thought, guys. That one thought that you buy into your religion now forms and morphs the entire construct of your reality that you see through that lens. And it's just like, well, what's going on here? How fucking insane are we? Yeah, man, Donnie, like it's only gonna make it worse because they're gonna have this wall set up. They're resistant to the message. So like all you can do is just be the example, and then if they have questions, then they come to you. Or you start a YouTube channel like me and you get the message out that way, and whoever's meant to have you be your audience is your audience. That's all. Don't cast pearls before swine, exactly. But you know what? At the same time, you can cast them all you want. Like it's just all it is, it's fruitless. It's fruitless labor. That's all it is. But if you feel compelled to share with one specific person in one specific instance because there's something in you that's inspired to, and you're like, no, maybe if I word it differently, they'll get it. You can try, but after a while, you're like, you know what? I'm done with this. I don't really want to feed it anymore. Yeah. Yeah, people are like, and that's what happens is like your dogma, your religion, your construct, your whatever, it closes you off. Your mind closes you. Your belief closes you. Because if I say something that's in opposition or like a tangent to your belief, then you can't let my belief and my idea come in as a possibility for you to explore. And so that's why you can never close yourself off. Everything is true. If I adopt that mentality, then now I can start searching in each of the different slices of the pie to see what does attract me and what does resonate with me and what doesn't. And you keep doing that enough, and you find your core mythology that you adopt into yourself. And even that mythology, you realize itself is the illusion too. What up, Rachel? What up, Wordy? What's going on, guys? Surprised, like my video here has fluctuated between like, I don't know, 30 and 60 people. Could you imagine that? If you're sitting in a room and you have like 30 or 60 people actually watching you, how cool is this technology that we have, guys? That you guys are like creeping on me. Where'd he go? What's he doing? There he is. What's Darius saying right now? Hey, stop creeping on me, guys. You're all so it's like, hey, but Darius, you invited us here, man. Like, well, we're not creeping on you. You a hypocrite. Darius, you're such a hypocrite. You invited me here, now you're calling me a creep? What the fuck, bro? I gotta drop everyone. Good stuff, Darius. All right, Channing, thank you. Bro, Channing, you can donate to me through this stuff, man. There's super chat, guys. I don't know if you guys are aware. Guys, donate to Darius. Girls gotta eat, okay? Guys gotta eat. And also, like, if in like my PayPal link, guys, like you can donate through there. You don't have to have PayPal. You can do just a regular credit card. And I actually would prefer that. If you're gonna donate, please do it through the PayPal if you can. If you want, do it here too. But YouTube takes 30% of my cut through super chats, whereas PayPal takes like 3% or whatever it is. So like, yeah, duh. If you want most of your money going to me, then donate through the PayPal link if you can, please. But you don't have to donate. I'm not here like looking to get rich, guys. But and you know what? Like, I've always had trouble with that. That like we gotta sustain and maintain our physical body. We do need some basic level of income and stuff. But at the same time, I don't want to get too lost in the material. So there is a balance there, And this one guy in the video that I like talking about, he's like, "Well, like wealth is just one. Being wealthy is just one way of living." And it's like, yeah, man, but it's a slippery slope, like we've said. That's why they're telling you get rid of all of your shit. because it's that much easier to get caught up in it. If there's nothing there, then how can you get caught up in it? Do you see what I mean? It's the same idea applies to desires too. It's just like one desires is like a mental, and like getting rid of your stuff is an actual physical release. It's just a different energy, but the same thing ultimately. Vic, bro, you at the gym? Good for you, man. So yeah, like right now, I don't know. I'm in my upper 280s, 290s, like somewhere in there. I used to be 380 pounds. I've lost like over 100 or around 100 pounds. But like I can't exercise because like I'm still too heavy from like my knees, and I don't want to fuck shit up. So I want to get down closer to like maybe 200, 220, somewhere in there, and then I'm gonna start working up and ramping it up more, doing burpees and all kinds of different shit. So getting physically fit again. But yeah. Guys, the food was it for me, man. Who wants the Big Mac? Let's go. Like McDonald's will always have a special place in my heart. And everyone's got their own like favorite fast food and stuff, right? No, man, hook me up with like some McDoubles and their fries. Oh my god, they're fucking fries, guys. Jack, oh man, Jack, thank you so much. Everybody, give a heart for Jack, man. Thank you, bro. I really appreciate it. Thank you. That means a lot, man. Um, so yeah, like the food, and so recently, over the past couple of years, as I was coming more into myself, as I was coming more into me, one of the last things I had to let go of was the food addiction, guys. And I'm like having a really hard time with it. I'm like, God, you're getting me closer and closer to the truth. I recognize it. Why are you still holding this food thing over me? And he's like, you can let go of it whenever you want, Darius. You're in control of your choices, are you not? I'm like, but why is this compulsion still there? Why am I so drawn to it? Why can't I let it go? Why can't I just fall back into balance? And now I'm in balance now, guys. Like I see it very clearly, and it doesn't have a power over me like it used to. But at the time, I'm like, man, motherfucker, like what the fuck? Like, guys, any of you has had an addiction for something. Isn't it the strangest thing how it grabs you by the balls, it takes hold of you? It's like where is my autonomous choice in this? Like, why have I given myself fully to this thing? It takes you over and you destroy yourself literally through it. Like, guys, I got so fat, I couldn't wipe my ass. I'm like trying to reach back and I'm like, God, why am I so fat? Like my belly rolls are like in the way of me wiping my own ass. You encumber yourself. You go down the route of heroin. You go down the route of like coke and whatever. Like you deviated septum and like heroin. You're just injecting yourself and like your veins are all rotted out and fucked up. Like we're literally destroying ourselves, seeking ourselves in this thing. It's really insane, and we can't detach ourselves enough to see the insanity of it. Like you recognize it on some level. You're like, I know this heroin addiction is fucking me up. It's bad. I know that probably shouldn't be doing it, but it's calling out to you. It's like, and it'll just drop in. The devil comes in. He's like, hey man, remember you've been over heroin for about 6 months. You've been doing really good, but hey man, you remember how great that used to feel? Chasing the dragon. You liked that shit, didn't you? It wouldn't hurt to go back to it just one more time. It wouldn't hurt, would it? Like come on, man. Try it again. Maybe this time you can control it. Maybe this time you won't lose yours. And that's how it starts. You start rationalizing and trying to kid yourself into thinking. And you're like, no, that's a bad path. I've been down that road before. I don't want to go do it again. Please. Invest in Bitcoin, bro. I fell into the crypto trap, and I made some money through it. But at some point I was also like, if I'm meant to have an abundant life, if I'm meant to have the riches, it can come in other ways. God isn't going to discriminate how he brings money to me if I need it. And I don't need money, guys. I don't need a lot. Just enough to like pay my car and put food on the table, just really basic stuff. I don't need all this extravagant shit, dude. Just the basic that we're all like, the earth is abundant enough to take care of all of our most basic wants and needs. It's that too many are hoarding and too many have gone off the deep end, and we're literally destroying the very thing that provides for us. We've become so detached. And that's the sad and the scary thing where we're at now. So I'm saying, man, like as more people keep coming into this realization and waking up, the more people that are like us that are like taking the mantle and like taking the torch and like running with it, we can wake up and maybe course correct. Do you know what giving you gives you amazing energy for the gym bro scene? But fuck you, Alex. You're so funny. I love you, but I hate you at the same time. You guys are gonna keep baiting with this shit. I love it. You're like, Darius, I know exactly what to say to trigger you. The last thing I'm having to let go is cigarettes. Yeah, I still smoke. I smoke cigarettes, but I'm not addicted to it. You know how many times, guys, I've started smoking and quitting smoking and started smoking and quitting smoking? I can quit whenever I want. Cigarettes are very much a thing where it's like a guilty pleasure. You know, if I know that if I have the cookie, it's probably not so good for me, but I'll still have it because I like it. Yeah, there's some stuff, but I'm not like a chain smoker like I used to be, where I needed a pack a day. Might have like 3 to 5 cigarettes a day. Some days I have one. Some days I have 8. Some days I have 3. You know, it's like, yeah, whatever, man. I don't really care. It's all good, man. Get to a place where like the cigarettes aren't dominating you. You know, like that's where I'm at with it. Same with coffee. Like some days I'm like, I like coffee, I'll have coffee. But then you get too addicted to it. You're like, you can't imagine your day without a cup of coffee. And that it starts fucking with you too. It throws everything off if you don't get that cup of coffee. Yeah. Damn, I smoke weed all day and I struggle in being a super good violinist. Congratulations to you, man. I love people that are in the arts. I love that you guys are expressing yourselves through that. G Bunnius. Like fucking awesome, man. I love the classical stuff. I love expressing comedy, you know, like acting. The arts are important, guys. There's genius in it, right? So good for you, man. And yeah, like weed, it's like I had a weed thing too, man. I had a weed thing too. So when I was in my teens, you know, we all used to be a bunch of degenerate guys. Guys, if you haven't watched it, and okay, you know, maybe you don't need to, because one of my videos that's coming up is about like it's like the last half of my awakenings video, because I don't talk about my awakenings fully. I go off into other stuff, so I'm posting the last part of it because it talks and touches on a bunch of different stuff. But if you haven't checked it out and you're interested in like my own personal stuff, you can go watch my awakening stuff, and it's a very funny and interesting story how it happened for me. But in that story I talk about how like I was with like degenerate bunch of little friends that we were. And like we would smoke up and do drugs, and like, guys, I grew up in the 90s, so like the rave scene was very at the forefront, and we're going and like doing ecstasy and special K and all these different drugs while we're, you know, in our teens, right? So a coke head, no, I've done coke a few times, but I never got addicted to it. I tried it though. um Somebody donated to me. Nick Copia, thank you for donating. And boss are your feelings. I don't know what you mean by that, but if you want to explain more, you can. So the short version is I used to do a bunch of different stuff. I did psychedelics. I had awakenings through it. It was intense. It was fun. And I realized stuff that stayed with me and caused me to keep searching. And that's, you know how like today, especially women, but it's happening some with men, but especially women, they're they get the bug. Do you know what the bug is, guys? The plastic surgery bug. If I just fix this one little thing about me, and you start going down that rabbit hole, and you need to keep perfecting your face to like this weird thing, this weird image of your in yourself, what your perfected face would look like, or your physical body, and you keep going, and then now you've turned yourself into this monstrosity that you can't recognize. Well, that bug also exists in the spiritual path. You get the bug. I call it the zealotry bug. You become a zealot. You can't stop searching. You're obsessed, and that's the path. You don't have to be obsessed. You can find it kind of lackadaisically, like moving through life if you want. But I accelerated my own growth and my own understanding and realization because I was a zealot. I had a very difficult life path, guys. I've been through more shit than probably anyone you've ever known. Okay, I have, but for me to come out of all of the karma and for me to understand all of those different layers of negativity, and then coming out of that and like burning through it and like ascending, the going into Hades, going into hell, and then coming out of it, the zealotry is what got me through it. The understanding, the knowing, beyond knowing that all of this stuff is pointing to that truth, and I have to find it no matter how it looks. I had to find it. I could not rest until I did, and now I can rest. And it's not the final rest where you die and you rest. It's the rest where I'm in my life and I'm resting, and now it's fun. Now I'm living my best life. That's the best life that everyone's talking about. It's like living your best life. Let's, here, look at all these cruises and all this Instagram shit. Look at. I'm in Paris. Hey guys, look, living my best life. Hey guys, I got the car, I got the house, I got all this stuff, right? And everyone's like, you talk so much shit about the law of attraction. The law of attraction itself, the purity of the truth of the law of attraction is very much true. But everyone where they've taken it, that's the delusion, guys. There's a difference, right? You keep chasing after all of this shit. You think that your life needs to have all of this stuff. Why isn't my manifestation coming in? I've been doing the law of attraction for years, and I need all of this stuff, God. Why? Well, gee, what do you think? Is everyone meant to be uber fucking rich? Is everybody literally on the planet meant to be fucking Elon Musk? Rich? Let's have some common sense. We're not saying that you can't have abundance in your life. What happens is you become the abundance yourself. So what the fuck is anything to you? What is money to you when you shit money out in this abundant state that you are? You guys don't understand that. Oh no, I don't have money. I don't have money to eat. And then somebody brings you a plate of food and you're like, oh, thanks God. Why do I need to go buy food when somebody hands me a plate of food? You see, it can come any way. Abundance comes in any way. Relationships are abundance, guys. People are abundance. Things aren't the only abundance. Money isn't only the abundance. But we're so stuck on money. And everyone thinks it's like this root of evil. No, it's not the root of evil, guys. Money isn't evil. It's the wanting and the desire for more. It is the greed. It is the lust, deriving your sense of self in these things. That's the true evil. And then the money is just the means to get the stuff. That's all it is. Do I ever get nostalgia? Yeah, man. When I went on my road trip last year, I stopped in Chicago where I grew up, and I did a little nostalgia tour. I went around all my old neighborhoods and was walking through, and it was part of like my purging and my remembering. And it helped me get closer to myself. But don't get too lost in the nostalgia either, guys. Just like you don't get too lost in this future that you're creating and imagining for yourself either. Yeah, man. It's like, wordy, it's very true. You're like, I've been chasing this stuff all my life, and it's like, poof, it's gone. It's all a joke. What was I wasting my time? And then you're like, oh my God, all the stuff that I did was a waste. Your mind draws these conclusions. They're not correct. Your mind thinks, oh my God, my whole life has been a waste. And it's like, no, your life was meant to have detours and these different course corrections to get you to where you are now, to where you wake up. You're going to question God's path for you that you obviously did just go through. You're going to deny the very existence that you just had. Come on, guys. You're going to argue with reality itself. Do you see what I mean? It's like, oh no, I'm just like, oh my God, I'm so ashamed of what I did. It's like, you did it, man. Let it go. Move on. You know how much crazy shit I fucking did? Some of the most delusional and insane shit you can imagine for someone doing, some of the stuff that I said and did. Am I gonna be imprisoned by that for the rest of my life? Am I never gonna forgive myself and move on? You know? Let go of expectation. Yeah, man. And that's why I did an expectations video, 2 of them. One of them is about the positive expectations that we have, and then we're disappointed when we don't get that thing that we wanted. And the other one is the negative expectations. That's the other video, where you're anticipating a negative outcome, and then, oh, you're pleasantly surprised when that negative expectation didn't work out that way. You're like, oh man, I'm gonna go to this thing and it's gonna suck. But then you go and it ends up being amazing. So you're basically debating yourself into thinking that you're like, oh my God, I'm fucked. But you're not fucked because you won't know until you're there. And so you're like, and I have the waiting video too, right? Like you're waiting, you're projecting yourself constantly, and you're creating the portal into the future all the time, and it's that much easier to give yourself to this future, or you're creating through nostalgia, or you're creating the portal to the past all the time, and you keep putting yourself in this perfect past that may or may not have been perfect. It feels as if you have been gutted, because it actually, yeah, it kind of is. It's like the entire mental construct of what you were attaching yourself to kind of goes bye-bye, and now you're left with yourself, and that can be very scary because there's nothing to grasp anymore. There's nothing that you're attaching yourself to anymore. You're just like, oh wow, like I'm just me, and all of these things that I thought I was kind of fall away, and I can recreate myself in whatever image I see fit. And it's liberating. It's inspiring. It's beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. We're labeling stuff out of fear. And it's also, I mean, it's like the love and fear is a duality, guys. It's like, that's why I keep, and I say in one of my videos, God isn't love, man. God isn't like God. The love is the opposite of fear. God is peace. God is the platform on which the love and the fear come up. Do you see? God is the construct. God is the like foundation of which you experience the love and fear duality. But the peace and the serenity is close, more aligned with the love. So you naturally gravitate towards that side because it feels nicer, doesn't it? Forgiving yourself is forgiving the unforgivable sin against the Holy Spirit. Bro, there's no unforgivable sin, and the way you interpret the Holy Spirit is you have no clue. See, that's the problem. Is that the Christian dogma has given you this idea of what the Holy Spirit is, and I have mentioned it in multiple videos what the true Holy Spirit is, guys. So if you watch enough of my stuff and you really want to know what the Holy Spirit is and what Jesus means by the Holy Spirit, he talks about it in John. He's like, the Spirit of truth will come to you. I mean, it's very easy, the channeling. What I do, guys, nothing's rehearsed. I don't have a fucking thing that I'm reading off of, guys. It's just coming through me all the time. I'm here, and it comes through me. I don't control it. And it comes, that's the Holy Spirit. You're aligned with it. When in your journey did you decide that you should put a camera up and start sharing? So in 2020, when I shared this in like one of my recent videos, like the path that I was on. In 2020, during COVID, I had this like psychic reading done, this like astrology and numerology reading. And then about 4 months later, I'm like in my room and I'm just like walking, doing stuff in my room, like cleaning my room or doing something. And it dropped in like a voice. It's like this download. It's like, oh, I'm going to start a YouTube video. And then that became a carrot on a stick at that point. Cause I was like, I know I have to start this YouTube channel. When is it going to happen? How is it going to look? When am I going to be ready? And so in a way I was creating turmoil through it because everything that I was doing was getting me prepared for it, but I didn't know how or when or what it would look like when I finally did. And as I kept getting closer and closer, I knew that this last road trip that I went on, the redemption tour, like me, Darius, finding himself again, what I knew ultimately ended in me waking up and then beginning my YouTube channel. But that was 5 years ago. In like summer of 2020, I got the inspiration. I'm going to start my YouTube channel, but it still took 5 years for me to get there, guys. I still had a lot of shit to work through. Will you get a Tesla robot? Nah, I don't know. How can I know? I'm not really drawn to anything. If I was going to get a robot, it would be a robot that wasn't Tesla because I really don't want to contribute giving money to Musk or anything. Like the guy's such an idiot. So what are you gonna do? I love how like he thinks he's so smart and like everyone has propped him up all this time, all these years for thinking he was so smart and a super genius. And then you hear him speak and he's like, the words speak for themselves. He's not all there. Do you ever feel that people do more than you are better, more valuable? So when you realize that you yourself are perfect and full and you step into your full self, then the comparing yourself against others naturally falls away. But it's hard to get yourself in that frame of mind and in that place because you haven't stilled yourself enough to make yourself come forward. So what's happening now is like you're still trapped by your mind. That's what comparison and judging and assuming is. We're assuming and judging and comparing and contrasting all the time through this lens of the mind. And when you start meditating and praying and doing the introspection, your true voice and your true state of being steps forward, and you eliminate the lie of what this comparing mind is. And then now you don't buy into all those comparisons anymore because you've been liberated from this self-imposed prison that you're doing through this egoic bullshit. I hope that helps. Tips for shrooms: don't do them. You don't need shrooms, guys. Like, yeah, I mean, like, you can, but at the same time, like, you don't have to. It's like, I did shrooms. I did it a couple times. I'm not one to like give you tips on it because I don't have a huge frame of reference for it. But if you guys want to do the stuff, and you're like, you're not going to convince me not to do it, Darius, I'm going to do it. Just do it responsibly. Have a team of friends and family around you, maybe, that are going to guide you or be around you to like kind of keep you in your lane, and you don't go do something insane where you can hurt yourself or others. And while you're in the trip, try and enjoy it, and like realize that you're going to see some crazy shit, and you're going to lose this mind maybe, and it might get very, very scary, or it might be this like awe-inspiring experience. It just depends on what your own personal internal predispositions are. I have a DJ stream I've been doing on Twitch. Hell yeah, man, I know Twitch. I was on Twitch for years watching people game. I used to be a gamer. I love Twitch. You got a lot of a lot of stuff, fun stuff. But the desire has fallen away, going to manifest, but something's coming. Exactly, guys. Something's always coming for you. Every moment, every day that you walk outside the door, something's coming for you, man. Every time you step out into life, something, even if it's mundane and basic and you've seen it 1,000 times before, there might be a minor difference that you notice, a different person, a different experience in that same mundaneness that makes you notice that it's different. It's like, oh, this is different. I'm so used to this repetitive routine, and I notice that new thing that much easier because it's different. It's a sign, right? It's like whoa, like you notice it. So the mundane creates the sense of normality. The routine creates a sense of normality, and then when something interrupts your routine, you don't want it. You're like, oh, I'm so resistant to it because you've created the routine. But that thing that comes in is meant to like have you notice it. Obviously, that's why it's contradicting your routine. That is the paradox. Or maybe somehow mixing lessons into them. I mean, guys, you can express yourselves however you want to, man. You know, if you find like music itself, like you just create the music. The music itself is inspirational, man. I find inspiration through music. You don't have to embed spiritual truths into it, you know? Like for me, like in the video that I'm releasing tomorrow, I go off on like Chapel Roan and like Hot to Go. Like I'm like dun 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 dun, and then I'm like HOTTOGO, right? Like some vibes, some energies, some stuff that just like you just like it bopping, you know, like you like it, right? Like you just vibe with it. That's spiritual, guys. That's true. That's core. That's good. Women don't want to be with man with nothing though. Listen, first part, you don't need a woman to complete you. Second part, a woman that wants to be with you, if you have less, that values you, and you find the woman, it's like you can use that to weed out the woman. You can use that, like I'm not going to settle for a woman that is super greedy and wants to have all of these things that I obviously can't provide for her. So you're going to find naturally that's going to filter. It's like a, you know, you're going to see that I'm going to vibe with the girl that's okay with me having a little bit less. She's going to be not super materialistic. Guys, they're out there, the women. They're out there. The women that don't want you to have all this stuff and don't give a shit about how tall you are and don't give a shit about how super attractive or good looking or buffed out you are. They're out there. You know? It's whatever. Anyway, guys, I've been on for an hour and a half. I think it's time to go. I appreciate you guys showing up. Those of you that donated, the couple donations, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. If you guys have any questions, I'll be streaming again, like I said, Thursday. So if you guys read my notifications or my posts, Thursdays and Sundays, I'm going to try and make it a regular thing, 5 p.m. Pacific. I'm going to go for like an hour and a half, hour or two, somewhere in there. I think this is like a good first stream. Thank you, Lawrence, for your kind words. Tasha, Donnie, thank you guys. Wordy, thank you. Spiritual Mullah, thank you. Yeah, thanks for being here, guys. I appreciate it. And if you guys want, somebody earlier was asking, and I'll leave it with this. Somebody earlier was asking, like I try to force my, I feel the need to force stuff that I understand. You guys want an easy way, and it'll help me and it'll help you. If you want someone, somebody might vibe with some spiritual stuff, share my channel with them. It'll help my channel grow. It'll help get the message out. And maybe how I speak will resonate with them. And then you guys will have something to talk about, and you guys can go back and forth about what Darius was talking about. That's one way of doing it. You're not forcing it, cramming it down their throat. Like, you have to watch Darius, but drop it in their text and then say, hey man, this guy's pretty cool. He's funny as hell. And you guys might learn something. Okay, cool. And then they like it. And then the word keeps spreading and then the channel keeps growing. And then now we're all coming together and creating this. So twice a week, Thursdays and Sundays. So if you guys can come and make it, you're welcome to come and make it. All right. And if you guys need assistance, you can always email me and I can do a Zoom call with you if you guys like. Yeah. All right, my dudes. Thank you for coming by. I appreciate you all stopping by. It's good to see you all. All right, take care.